Alright, so today I had a couple people reach out to me asking about this event shop right here because of the fact that we have a chance of getting a CTP, a premium card, a Mega Tier 2 advancement ticket, among other things. And specifically, I want to talk about the Tier 2 Mega Advancement ticket because we have a lot of new players starting the game right now for the 8th year anniversary, and they just gave out one of these from the check-in event. So I wanted to share my thoughts with you guys and let you know which characters are actually worth considering for this premium item. We're going to start off with this category right here since it's the smallest. Seasonal uniform required. And I only put this here for Magic because she's literally the only character here that requires a seasonal uniform to be good. And if you give her seasonal uniform, she's actually good enough to hold her own in Alliance Conquest. And the reason why Conquest Plus is remaining as a tier here is because I don't know how impactful the Starlight Arena is going to be. So until we have a full understanding of that game mode, I will continue to include Conquest Plus because from what the devs told us, the game mode is going to operate very similar to Alliance Conquest. Anyways, that being said, let's get into the rest of it. So we have Ultra Rare, another small category right here that we have to put Blue Marvel, Nova, and Anti-Man in because these characters are extremely hard to get biometrics for. You cannot even buy these characters for cash. You can't buy them for crystals. The only way you can get biometrics for them is if you actually go into the lab and craft their biometrics. Now, in case you're a brand new player, it means you got to go in here and you actually got to go down to Universal, and then if you look in here, whenever you craft Universal biometrics, there is a chance for you to get biometrics for these guys, and that is literally the only way for you to get biometrics for, as you can see, I got 2 for Anti-Man. It might seem easy, but believe it or not, you're gonna need quite a few biometrics to get these guys up to tier 2. So a lot of people actually consider using Mega Tier 2 on these guys to speed up the process. However, for me personally, since they currently are not very good, he's good for Alliance Conquest, but I wouldn't necessarily say if you are low on Mega Tier 2 tickets that he's deserving of one. Same goes for Professor X, another character that is ultra rare, and there's only 2 ways that you can get access to Professor X. One of them is completely for free, but it is extremely RNG dependent, and you could be farming for up to a year, maybe more, until you actually get access to him. As you can see, he's right in this box right here for just completing Dimension missions on a daily basis. You have access to Professor X, Abomination, Negasonic, and Rachel Summers. They're the rarest characters in this box, as you can clearly see by the fact that their biometrics are significantly less than the others. The other way you can get these guys is on Black Friday. They sell them all for 2,500 crystals. However, if you buy them on Black Friday, they will come at tier 2, whereas if you use this method right here, they will only come at 1 star, and you will be required to get into 6 star using rank up tickets and then tier 2 via a Mega Tier 2 advancement ticket. So very rare characters. I would say Professor X is the only one that is actually really good value, so I could put him in best value just because if you get him to tier 2 and get his uniform built up, you can get him to tier 4 and he is very, very powerful. However, he's not necessary for any content in the game right now. Very, very powerful for World Boss Legend and Giant Boss Raid, but he's not necessary. So let's go ahead and just put Negasonic, Rachel Summers, and Abomination in extremely rare or ultra rare. And while I'm at it, I'll throw in the characters that are actually pretty decent for Alliance Conquest. So people like Yelena Belova, people like Toxin, Spectrum, Spider-Woman, Icarus. However, while we're on the topic of Icarus, I would consider Icarus to be a soft premium. Icarus, even though he's a paywall character or a premium character, he's more of a soft premium because you can actually farm him right here in the Eternal Epic Quest. There's a couple different missions where you get access to his biometrics. It's actually a very slow farm, but as you can see, you can farm enough bios to get him to tier 2 without ever needing to actually use a Mega Tier 2 ticket on him. And the same goes for somebody like Ares, another character that is considered to be a paywall. However, if you play the game long enough consistently, you will actually get access to his biometrics. The same goes for people like Philavel, Victorious, and Colossus. So I'm going to put them in soft premium because these characters, even though they're premium characters, you ideally should not be using your Mega Tier 2 ticket on them because they can be farmed if you are consistently playing the game. Same goes for Dakin, Satana, and Clea. Now, these guys are currently not worth building, but since they're soft premium, I'm just going to put them in the soft premium category. While we're on the topic of not worth building, let me just go ahead and fill out this category. Literally all of these characters that cost money are not worth building. It's so sad, but it's so true. Listen, some of these guys guys are decent in Alliance Conquest, but they're definitely not worth using a premium item like a Mega Tier 2 ticket on just for Alliance Conquest. Truthfully speaking, the only reason why Spider-Woman is even considered for Alliance Conquest is because she has a leadership that you can use to buff your Spider-Man and your Chasm, and you have a solid Spider team. And since she's a blast character, she covers up for Spider-Man's weakness to combat characters. But anyways, let's continue. Sabretooth, another one that's not worth a Mega Tier 2. Weapon X, not worth a Mega Tier 2 in my opinion. Red She-Hulk, no longer worth it. Regular She-Hulk is way better. Ghost Panther, amazing value. Iceman, once upon a time was a yes in this uniform. Now with Tier 4, absolutely not. Hyperion, definitely a banger in Conquest. He's up there with Blue Marvel. Juggernaut, also a banger for Alliance Conquest. Killmonger, not worth it. Kid Kaiju, not worth it. Luna Snow, we're expecting a new uniform for her soon. Same goes for Crescent, simply because the other original characters have been getting uniforms every couple months, starting with Blue Dragon and Sunbird. Speaking of these two, I would say Blue Dragon is great value because she can be used in PvE at the highest level and PvP as well if you combine her with Syrian Sunbird. So I'm going to throw him in here. He is unfortunately only a 4-star passive. Now you could keep him at Tier 1 and use his passive, but then he's like a dead person on your team, so you might as well, if you're going to have him in general, get him to Tier 2, have him awakened. Moving on, best value, obviously we absolutely have to put Valkyrie in here. Same goes for Carnage. He's just an absolute demon, definitely better than Professor X. Emma Frost is really good as well. Riri Williams is actually a pretty good one if you have her new uniform. She's a great leader and a support. Electro and Maya Lopez are pretty much just Alliance Conquest. We definitely got to put Dazzler in here. Cassie Lang, I'm gonna say not worth it for right now. She's pretty much just a 4-star passive. Get her to 6 stars so you can at least use her on your team in World Boss Ultimate if you're playing that game mode. Next up we have M'Baku. M'Baku is a hard premium. He's definitely well worth the ticket. It's unfortunate that this guy gets trapped at Tier 2. Next up we got Agent Venom, another one that is really good for Alliance Conquest. Jubilee is definitely a skip. Kitty Pryde is actually better than most people give her credit for in Alliance Conquest. Mr. Sinister is probably the best if you have his artifact out of all of these guys for Alliance Conquest. We can't really sleep on the value that he offers with his artifact and uniform combination. Then we got Mystique for her support buff. Ghost, leave Ghost in the bin. Namor right up here. Enchantress is pretty much a skip even though she has a seasonal uniform. We gotta wait for her to be transcended. Rescue and Quasar, Alliance Conquest characters. Even though Sentinel has a PvP leadership that is useful for Alliance Conquest, he's definitely not worth the Tier 2 ticket just for that. Polaris is definitely worth it, and so is Nick Fury. These guys are amazing support characters. Polaris is ABL meta for all of the mutant days. So we'll catch you guys in the next one. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. I'm gone.